Hello everyone. Love is an incredible feeling. It makes people feel incredibly happy, but at the same time it can be an endless source of suffering. Love has inspired many great masterpieces, feats and all kinds of romantic gestures, and sometimes it also connects very different people who are hard to imagine together. But hey, who are we to judge, right? Everyone deserves to experience love. That's why we want to tell you the stories of some very lucky people who found their soulmates. If you're ready to be surprised, amazed and excited, then let's get it on. Hollywood movies and social media have made us believe that only perfect people deserve a happy relationship. You know, people with perfect smiles, perfect bodies, perfect hair, people impossible to find in the real world where there are no Instagram filters, Photoshop or CGI. But love puts everything in its place. Amalie Jennings from Denmark suffered all her life from her weight until she met Sean. This happened on a video game platform in 2008. They quickly became friends, and then their friendship turned into a mutual love. At first it was an online relationship that many people distrusted, but Amelie finally felt that Sean accepted her for who she was. He didn't care about Amelie's weight because the guy saw an interesting and nice person in her. The couple were in a long-distance relationship for 9 years, visiting each other from time to time, and then they got married. Finally, Amelie moved to England, and now the couple lives happily in Hertfordshire. Monica Riley became famous for her weight, over 300 kilograms. Besides, she dreamed of weighing even more and being too fat to stand up. Well, people can have really strange dreams. Monica's boyfriend Sid was totally supportive of her dream and was willing to help her. Although Sid was the most ordinary shape, he loves Monica's look. However, when the lovers decided to have a baby, Monica had to give up high-calorie foods as they were causing her health problems. In order to have a healthy child, she refused her strange dream and started losing weight. In October 2018, Monica and Sid had a daughter, Michelle Elizabeth. After the pregnancy, Monica decided to undergo weight loss surgery, not only for her health, but also for her family, and especially for her daughter. After all, every baby should have a happy childhood. As you can see, a weight difference is not a problem. But what about a height difference? A lot of people think it's nice when the boy is taller than the girl. Jolison Fernandes da Silva's height is 234 centimeters, but this gentle giant from Brazil wasn't too happy with his height. Because of a benign tumor on his pituitary gland, he started to grow too quickly, and only when the tumor was removed, Jolison finally stopped growing and felt better. Soon he found out that he was actually the tallest man in Brazil, which made him famous. It even brought in some admirers. Among them was his future wife, Evem Medeiros. She contacted him on Facebook to wish him a happy birthday. Then they exchanged numbers, and 2 months later, they started dating. A year later, the couple got married, and the difference in height did not stop them, even though the girl was only 152 centimeters tall. Unfortunately, because of Jolison's condition, the couple can't have children. But that's not a problem, because they can always adopt a baby. Besides, Jolison and Evem are confident that they can raise an adopted child with love and care. Philip Ealing from Adelaide was born with a rare form of muscular dystrophy. Due to his illness, he's confined to a wheelchair, but this doesn't prevent him from living a full life. For a long time, he didn't dare to start a relationship because he didn't know how fast the disease would develop. But as soon as the medical examination was completed and Philip realized he was not dying, he decided to finally find love. He met his future wife Susan in 2016. At that time, she worked in an institution that helps people with disabilities. The girl had moved from Kenya a year earlier. Imagine how brave Philip was to ask this beautiful woman for a phone number. He was lucky. The feeling flew both ways. Philip and Susan started texting, and they fell in love almost immediately. And a year later, they got married. Many internet users were skeptical, but just look at these pictures. They look so happy together. Susan helps Philip with his daily tasks like bathing and eating, and she really just loves helping him. Susan also says that she never sees the wheelchair. When she looks at her husband, she only sees him. Many couples have age differences. Sometimes the difference is small and sometimes it's quite big, 10, 12 years. But what about 32 years? Tom Crutchfield is in his 70s and his wife Stacey is 32 years younger. The two have been together for years. Most people assume that Tom is Stacey's father or even her grandfather, but the couple have learned to ignore that. After all, who cares what other people think if you're happy, right? Tom claims that marrying Stacey is the best thing that's ever happened to him. Tom is a reptile breeder, and their love story began with an iguana. Stacey contacted Tom as a specialist to ask advice about her iguana. A few years later, the girl came to his farm, but it was a friendly visit. Gradually, their friendship turned into something bigger, and although the couple don't know how long they can live together, they try to live in the moment and enjoy their life. Tom and Stacey spend almost 24 hours a day together, working with reptiles on the farm, going out on dates and training, although they sleep in different beds, but this helps them not to get tired of each other. All the couples we've talked about in today's video show us that love can take any form. Feelings of love can arise between very different people, and that's great. But history also knows many examples of relationships and even marital unions that are just strange. For example, Elizabeth Hoad got married to her dog. According to Elizabeth, Logan, her golden retriever, made her much happier than any man. The wedding ceremony took place live on a British TV show. Hoad told the audience that she had been engaged 4 times and had gone on more than 220 dates, but she just couldn't find the perfect man. Finally, she just gave up and found comfort in her dog. Elizabeth claims that Logan saved her, and she in turn saved the dog. It's a strange union.
As a dog. Amazing!
However, Hoad was not the first woman to marry her pet. For example, Wilhelmina Morgan Callahan from Northern Ireland married Henry, her Yorkshire Terrier, in 2009. Have you ever felt affection for a fictional character from a movie or a book? Maybe even fell in love? It is quite common, especially among children and teenagers, but can an adult fall in love with a cartoon character and even be willing to marry them? The Japanese have a special word for video game and anime fans, otaku. Akihiko Kondo has been an otaku for many years, but he doesn't just like anime characters. Kondo married a virtual character. Meet Hatsune Miku, a Japanese virtual singer. Despite her artificial nature, she is incredibly popular and even puts on concerts where she appears as a hologram. You can buy different images of Miku online, and that's exactly what Kondo did. Miku is a part of his life as a hologram in a glass capsule placed in the corner of his room. Kondo also has several dolls of Miku, including one that sleeps with him. In November 2018, he married his beloved, and although the ceremony was not official, 39 guests attended. Miku herself was present as a doll in a white lace dress and a long veil. The dress was handmade by a designer who offered his services after Kondo announced the ceremony. During the most solemn moment, the guy made a vow of marital love for the two of them, and then took his place at the table. The stuffed bride was sitting right next to him. You think the last two were the weirdest couples in the world, and now you've seen everything. But what if we tell you that someone married a ghost? Amanda Teague, resident of Northern Ireland, definitely deserves a place in our video. She often dresses up as Captain Jack Sparrow to perform on the streets and loves everything about pirates. So it's no surprise that Amanda decided to marry a pirate. More precisely, a pirate who died 300 years ago and was buried somewhere in Haiti. All we know is the pirate's name, Jack. Like any other couple, Amanda and Jack went on dates and fought from time to time. It all started in 2014. One night, Amanda was in bed and felt the pirate's energy at her side. The unusual couple were together for 2 years, and then the ghost pirate asked Amanda to be his wife. And yes, the wedding did really take place. To legally contract a marriage, Amanda rented a boat and took it to international waters. The wedding was attended by friends and even bridesmaids. It was all real. A white dress, a veil, flowers, a pirate flag. The only thing missing was the groom, but Amanda claimed that he was present at the ceremony, even though no one could see him. By the way, the bride's family and her 5 children from the previous marriage also attended the wedding. Unfortunately, it turned out that the marriage was just a temporary thing. According to Amanda, she and Jack broke up because the ghost behaved like an energetic vampire. What a roller coaster. Hey, stop being lazy, it's time to use that brain of yours. Welcome to Brain Time. Incredible facts from the past, the present, and even the future. The power of nature and wild animals, amazing facts and unsolved mysteries. You'll find all this and much more here. Subscribe now, you won't regret it.